Hello and welcome. It's Claire from Wiltshire. I've been really busy over the weekend doing lots and lots of jobs in the garden, mainly the maintenance, but I couldn't really do much footage because I've had a cold for the last 4 days and my throat was so bad you couldn't hear me. And then my microphone decided to die on me. Um, and then the light went as well, so the footage was a bit too dark to post. So I thought I'd go through the garden in real time with you. It's Monday the 18th of August at 9:30 a.m. So I thought I would show you around and see what I've been up to in my home garden over the weekend. Here is my new salad bed. I found aphids and a slug in there already. It's only been up a week. So what I did is I popped a couple of hoops over the top with some netting and I have secured it in just here, all around the edges. It's new, the leaves are nice and fresh, so it is a slug paradise. I have got some copper tape which I'm going to pop on the sides just to deter them a little bit, but I haven't popped that on yet. And it was a lot quicker just to put the netting over last night. Okay, and then the second new bed, my blueberry bushes are in, and what I have done is I have staked them. So this is the supports I have decided to go for. It's really nice and secure. I gave it a really good water as well at the weekend and put some more ericaceous soil on there just to top it up around the roots. And then in the back, I have got my blueberry bushes, the pink lemonade variety. So the second one turned up. If you saw my live opening, you will see my second one turned up. So that's also in there. And I've done the same process with staking them in. I was going to wait till next year to do this. However, I did decide the more I can get done now, the less I have to do at the start of next year with all the sowing of seeds starting, which will be taking up a lot of my time. My basil bed is doing really well. This warm weather over the weekend, it has really sprouted up. I've got some smaller basil in there and some taller. So before it gets much bigger, I am going to be pinching it out. So for anyone who doesn't know how to make their basil bushy, here we go, let me show you on this one. So everything comes in sets of 2 leaves, like so. So I wouldn't just take, see that flea beetle then? I saw that then. So I wouldn't just take those 2 out, I would take these 2 out. So not the top 2, you go down to the second 2. I find that using your nail is easiest. Pinch it out. So you've got those. You can just pop them on your pizzas or your food. And then if you have a look, you have 4 leaves here. And then they will come out and then you will have 4 leaves coming that way, and then you will get the top 2 leaves on top of that. And then if you keep pinching it out and doing that, so I'll do it again with this one. So 2 small ones, and then you've got the 2 slightly bigger ones underneath. Pop them up. Oh, it's starting to get windy, so they don't want to move for me. And then you've got 2 little ones there, and they will sprout out like that. So that's how you do your basil. So I will go around and do all of that today. Having a bit of an issue with this one, the spinach is not doing well. It's got a lot of water damage, but it's really difficult to water without getting the leaves wet. So I need to pick all of those off. I did thin out the carrots a little bit more again. So yeah, so I'm not quite sure what to do about that one. The potatoes, I still need to top up the soil. I didn't get round to doing that one. However, the sweet potato one, I did pop some more soil in there. It was already damp, so I didn't need to water that one. Because it's outside and it's not in the most sunny area, it's not really doing very well. So I'm going to get that moved today to a much sunny area in the garden. I did some deadheading yesterday on my bushes and gave everything a really good water yesterday. I spent a good 3 hours outside watering everything. So just show you how everything's going. I mean, the foxgloves are absolutely stunning. Let's see if I can get in there. No bees today because it's a bit chilly out here this morning. My giant marigold is stunning. I've still got a little bit of lavender. That random piece of lavender right there. And the big reveal. Dun, dun, dun. I took those sweet peas out. I had enough sweet peas that had dried for me to use for seed for next year. And then I ripped all the rest out. So that looks extremely bare. Tons of caterpillars on my nasturtiums. I'm not going to take them out. What I'm going to do is wait for this now to go to seed as well. And I've got some seed pods right here. So I need those to dry off and become mature. So if you pick them now and wait for them to dry off, the plant isn't fully mature, so your seed isn't as good for next year. So always try and keep them on there if possible. I know they end up looking really messy, but it is better to do so. I've got nothing in the back there, so I'm just going to, apart from a lot of leaves, so I'm just going to wait for the nasturtiums to dry down, and then I will, oh, there is a calendula in there though. Just notice a little calendula in there. I have a new sunflower, which I put in there. I had to take it out of one of my beds, needed somewhere to put it in because I took the sweet pea out, perfect place. I deadheaded all of my calendula, that's why there doesn't look to be so much there. A lot of them had gone to seed. This one looks like it's going to be absolutely stunning. As you can see, no heads on the calendulas there. My rose is dying back now, but I have 4 more heads on that one, so I will pop that one off today so all the energy can go to the new ones. And then I've got another bed that's dying down, so the other sunflower bed, I mean this one's taller than my 6-foot fence, so I'd say that's 7 foot easy by now. I have got a little bit of mark on some of the leaves in here. They're taking a long time to flower, these sunflowers. I've got my pak choi at the back, my lonely little pak choi, and the other one's just not doing anything, but even if I get one, it's my favorite, so it's fine. Some of the marigolds are still flowering, the cucamelon, and I've got a few here. You've got one just there, and I've got a couple up here. I don't know how I'm still getting flowers for the cucamelons when the bottom of the cucamelons is looking disastrous. It got very wet when we had some wet weather. It got very, very wet and it didn't like it. So new plan for next year. The rosemary is doing really, really well considering I took a lot of cuttings from it. And the grape, can we see the grape in behind? The grape is still doing really well. Got some sticks in there that I could probably take out now that doesn't need to be there because this sunflower has decided to fall over. Let's see if I can get a good angle of the sunflowers. They're not very big, but obviously there they are, the multi ones. Okay, so we're going to move on up now. Strawberry plants, I'm going to get them out of there today because they have not done well in there. And I will show you in a bit where they will be going. And then that one there is a spring. Look what I've just seen. Oh my goodness, they are absolutely everywhere. I will get my JJ out to get that. So I ripped all of those out because they were growing in the ground. I thought I'll try sticking them in a pot, see what happens, and they've come back to life. So I'm hoping next year they'll do well. So we need to get rid of that caterpillar. And then my mini pumpkins I've taken out of the greenhouse because they aren't doing too well in the greenhouse. I think the humidity is too high. And the same as my Chinese lanterns, all the leaves have curled up. So I need to have a little investigation. They look dry, but I promise they are not dry. So I'm not sure what's going on with those either. I took the bamboo out of its pot because I need the pot. So that needs to be planted up today. I do have a pot there to put it in if necessary. And that is a pepper that I took out of my greenhouse that was grown in there because I had caterpillars eating my peppers. And I've got a little bit of disease on the leaf. There was a slug on it and it was covered in aphids. But I put this out 24 hours ago and I have got a pepper on there. Not sure what I'm going to be doing with that one. Okay, so you'll have to excuse any of the drilling you hear in the background. I've had it all summer. All summer I have had a house that's doing whatever they're doing to their property. And every time you sit down or go to film or do anything, it will start up and it's driving me crazy. And I thought, with all the filming I did at the weekend that I've had to get rid of, I need something for you guys because you lot really need to see how the transition from summer to autumn is coming in my home garden because there's been so many changes. and so many things going on that I've added to the garden, ready for the winter, that I've added to the garden ready for the fall season, and things that I'm still trying to grow on to grow in the summer season. So here's the greenhouse, here's what's going on. The carrots are still doing really well. I'm getting a lot more germination on this side now, so I'm happy with that. I'm hoping I can have some carrots from a Christmas dinner. The Scotch bonnets are absolutely flying. I mean, I can't count them all on camera. When did they? 3, 5, 10. No way have I got the same issue again in here. Look, that's a caterpillar hole. I'm going to have to go through absolutely everything to find where this caterpillar is, or mini slug, because it's eating through all of my fruits. Grr. Okay, so as you can see, my sweet potato vine is now staked in, and it's already 6 foot tall. So that one's doing really well in here. This one is 2 weeks ahead of the other one, and you can see the difference in the growth from being in the greenhouse. So I might just have to have all of the sweet potatoes in here and make it a little bit more room, which is fine because the carrots can actually go outside because they like the cooler weather, and I've got a really nice shady spot in the garden that I can put them in. Actually, the shady spot is more like where the carrots are at the moment that I've got over there. Okay, so I've got a pot there that never germinated, so I need to get rid of that soil. And here's my other pepper plant. So I made the garlic and onion spray, and I sprayed everything yesterday twice to get rid of the aphids. I mean, there's so much damage still. I don't know if any of the aphids are still alive. Let's have a look. No, I don't think so, but I mean, they've really done some damage on these peppers that I've got. Okay. And then my other pepper plant, again, that's producing one fruit at the moment. Excuse me, whenever I see something I shouldn't be seeing, I'm like straight away over to the leaf to make sure it's not a caterpillar. And like I've got a few bits of damage on some of these leaves like this. So I think, and another one just down there. So I need to figure out what's going on. Up to the cucumber. Where are the cucumbers, you may ask? Obviously, I had a huge amount of cucumbers in the greenhouse. I've harvested so many. The one either side of this one had finished. They weren't getting very big. They were becoming very pear-shaped. So I took them out, and I managed to keep hold of this singular one because... So I've kept this one in because I do have a cucumber growing on it still that is actually okay. And I have 2 smaller ones. Let's see if I can focus. You want to focus for me? 2 smaller ones in behind there. So I've kept that one on because they are yellow flowers, and that means they're going to keep growing. So that is going to be my last cucumbers. I am going to keep one of them and let it go really big because I am going to use that one for seed for next year. So what I will do is, once it's got as big as it's going to get, I will slit the cucumber in half. I will scoop the seeds out, pop them in a jug of water for 48 hours. That gets rid of like all the jelly on the outside of the seeds. And then I will finish drying the seeds off on a paper towel. And then I will, once they're fully dry, I will pop them into a little paper sachet and obviously label it all up for next year, because I like this cucumber better than the other one because I have the other one at the allotment. So I didn't really need them at home, and I've done some pickling. I've eaten loads. I've given away loads, and I still have about 8 in my fridge. So way too many. Oh, that's a mouthful. Way too many cucumbers. Okay, the peas and beans are still doing good down here. They were moved into a better location, and I just need some bigger stakes for those. The strawberry plants are okay. The ones that survived are doing good, and I'm going to pop them up today or put them in a bed. The lanterns are doing okay in these seed trays, but obviously I transplanted the other ones and they didn't do very well. So with these ones, I think I'm just going to put them straight outside in the soil. And I've got 3 courgettes there that I've decided to come up as well, and another one just over here. And I've got that Swiss chard that's come up nicely there. And the other pot, which had broccoli, again, nothing. Broccoli drives me crazy. My basil pot's doing okay, a little bit of aphid damage. And then I've got my curly kale there, which some of them I'm going to put in my vegetable bed. And then my pepper plants are doing fantastic. What I did notice with these peppers, so I cooked a curry at the weekend, and with these peppers, they go in purple, and as soon as you start cooking with them, they turn green. So I think the purple is more just to look at it when it's on the plant itself, which is fine because I love purple. The sweet potato slips are starting to shoot up again, which is absolutely fantastic. And then I have my other curly kale that I grew from seed. That was also covered in aphids. This really needs to go out. I think I've said that on probably my last 5 videos, how this really needs to go out now. Some of the leaves aren't doing fantastic. I mean, look, perfect example of aphid damage in there. Where are you? I mean, that's so much. And because it's curly, it's really hard to get the spray in there. So I will give that another spray today just to make sure that all the aphids are off before I spread it anywhere else and take off any of these dead leaves. So I've got around 5 per pot in there. So I will take the best 2 out of every single pot and plant those. That's the plan. And my lemon tree is still doing fantastic with his beautiful spikes. No one's touching that bad boy with it like that. And the plan is that smaller pot there, I will swap it over for that bigger pot there once the peppers have been cut down to overwinter. Before I do anything else, I did some seed collecting. So I've got a whole pot there, and I have mixed them in because at the front of the garden I have mixed flowers. So the idea is I'm going to mix some of those in apart from the sweet pea pods, which obviously are very noticeable. I will be sprinkling them in the bed and having a mixed variety. And I've also got some more from the front of the garden just in here. They're pretty much the same seeds. Like, for example, this is a calendula seed. So they're pretty recognisable. We all know that this is a marigold, and if we pull out the head, the seeds are in behind. And I think we all know that this is a sweet pea. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't got anything else in there. Really, that's the only flowers I have grown this year. Let's take you to the other half of the garden now. So yeah, so they're the only flowers I've grown this year. I am planning on next year doing some zinnias, some dahlias, and some cosmos. So that is my plan for next year. I'm keeping the greenhouse door shut at the moment because the temperature is 20 degrees and that's with the window open. So I don't want it to get any cooler in there really. Okay, let's move on. So anyone who didn't see the video, I've had bamboo arrive. So that's all my bamboo. So I have your bog standard bamboo. Then I have your black bamboo. Black stems just in there. That's a leaf. There you go. And that is going to be a screening. So where I have the shed, that's moving. And then I've got that big open space where the birds are. Now, as much as it's really nice to see the birds there, they don't tend to come down too much because it is so open, and I'm in the garden a lot, so they're struggling to feed. So I'm going to put a screen going right across here to give them a little bit of privacy because I'm nice like that. So the issue I've got with the tomatoes, I will show you. I'm getting this on all of my tomato plants. I did have a little look to see, and they're fully edible like this. They're just not pretty looking at all. And I'm going to be taking some off, I think. I mean, I've got a one down here. Oh, a big cobweb. Let's get rid of that before I put my arm in. Let's have a reach down in here because this one's ready to come off. But look how red and beautiful that is compared to the other side. So I will turn this upside down on here to get some more sunlight. So I've got lots and lots of orange ones. Again, more bruising. I was not expecting this. The leaves look absolutely perfectly fine and healthy. Like no issue with the green ones at the moment. But the ones that are going red aren't fantastic. So like That's absolutely fine. On this one, lots of orange ones, but I just don't know if it's the inconsistent weather we're having, because one day it's really hot and then the other day it can be really, really cold, like today, and apparently it's going to get colder. So I'm not sure what's going on with them. I'm not particularly impressed with them, because these are the ones that I use for my sauces. I mean, I don't eat these ones, and I was going to roast a load up. Is that another one there that I can take off? Yeah, let's take that one off as well. So take that one off as well. That one seems okay. So this is another bed I worked on over the weekend. My kiwi berry, which didn't flower this year, so I don't know if it's male or female, so I can't get the exact variety to know whether it needs a second one or if it will self-pollinate. Not fun. Sorrel's good, and it's good there. Calendula, again, I cut right back. My giant marigold is still flowering and doing very, very well. My basil that I transplanted has taken, and I purchased another red currant bush because they do better in pairs. So I've got 2 of those in there, and I also, as you can see, staked those ones up as well. So they are done, and it's something else I don't have to worry about in the spring. But what I've decided I'm going to do with this bed is, there's a lot of gaps there now, which means when it gets sunny, this bed is really drying out, especially with these giant sunflowers that I've got. I mean, they absolutely wreck the soil, so that won't be happening next year. I'm going to get all my strawberry plants that I've got over there and the new ones, and I'm going to fill this whole space. I mean, I've got a little bit of space down here around the back as well with the strawberry plants, and I'm going to have this next year as my red currants, my basil, and my strawberry plants. So I'm keeping the basil in there to deter pests. It's worked really, really well with my tomatoes. So, and I know strawberries and basil go well together, so that's what I will be doing in here. And I've got thyme and a couple of other herbs in there that can stay in there. And the sorrel, again, once that's finished, I will take that out to make more room for the strawberry plants if I need it. So this area here today, I'm going to take the rest of the grass out, and I'm going to put my potato bucket there. Not the sweet potato, the other one, just to give it a little bit more sunlight. And then let's step back and you can see my vegetable bed. So I have now caged it. It's taken me all weekend. I have done it by myself, and you can see I've got the hoops up here. So the netting is already on for this one around the sides. I've given myself a doorway, which currently, as I can take it off, as you can see, it's quite a wide doorway. I'm quite wide. And I've left the bridge in here so I can work on this area. And what I've got is I've got an empty patch just behind that Brussels, and I'm going to put a stepping stone there. And I have got an empty patch over by the celery, and I will do the same. So if I do need to do any maintenance or get over there, then I can still get over there. This bed had a huge water yesterday, a massive. I think I had the hose in here for almost 2 hours. The roof isn't on yet, so you're going to have to excuse again the drilling again. So my pear tomato plant is doing really well. Let's have a look. So with the sunshine we had yesterday, I've got lots of yellow ones to be picking today. And the basil is doing fantastic again. So I might have enough to dehydrate, and I might have enough to do another pesto. I have 1 sunflower in here. And what I've done with the hoops, I've made them tall enough so I can stand in here, because I'm not a croucher, because I find it really painful. So yeah, so there you go. So today I've got the netting for the roof to go on, but I need 2 of us to be able to do it. So I've got to wait for someone to come home to help me do the netting. But I'm really pleased with the framework that I have done so far. I think, considering the wood I've just found from my garden, apart from these posts, I purchased these posts, but they were only $3.79 each. Everything else I've used from the garden to do the sides, just to make it a little bit more sturdy. I mean, it moves, but it's because of the netting, the wind is going to blow through it as opposed to hit it. And my son is going to get me a batten to go from that side to that side, just to strengthen those sides up a little bit, because I need, it's 7 foot long, so I need a batten for that. Okay, so that's everything that I did at the weekend. I did some other odds and sods. I did some pickling, I did some jam making. I've got more to do today. I need to make a plum crumble, and I'm going to make some plum jam today as well. I made a lovely curry from most of the vegetables from the garden and the allotment at the weekend. That went down a treat, and I managed to get some in the freezer as well. So yeah, busy weekend. My dog is feeling a little bit better, although she's still extremely ill, and you know, any day could be her last day. She is feeling a little bit more bright and dandy, which is fantastic, because it's given me the opportunity to get the things done that I would like to get done. I'm in London all day tomorrow. I'm going to Kew Gardens for the day, so I will do some footage for you there. Birthday treat for my mum, and I'm taking 2 of my younger children as well. So today is getting everything done, so the garden's not going to miss me tomorrow. And I need to do an allotment trip today as well, because everything needs a water and a good old tidy. So I hope you liked my update. If you did, please like and subscribe. It's very important that I get myself out there, because the more I'm out there, the more people that are watching that can give me advice and information on what I'm doing, because I am new to all of this, and it's an experience, and the more I can learn ready for next year, the better. So from me and my garden, have a great day.